work between the conferences, and this is a chance for cross fertilization or cross pollination between the task teams, a chance to kind of share our success, see whether there are potentially opportunities for collaboration, that kind of thing. So it's fast paced. Everybody only gets 3 minutes, and we're gonna just race through it. I'll be driving the slide, so you can say next slide if you know that you have something else that you want. I'm going to be minding the time, so to help you stay within your 3 minutes, because we don't want to run out of time for the folks that are presenting last. Um, so when you have 30 seconds left, you'll just hear my voice saying 30 seconds, and then I'll say time when it's time to move on. So with no further ado, we're going to move right into hearing about the conference. Katie, you're on.
Thank you, everyone, and good evening. I'm talking from Whadjuk land here in Western Australia, Perth. So just straight into the next slide, Delia. So the big thing is that we're full steam ahead with the conference. So we have, as you can see there on the slides, we've got a range of pre-event tours, and some of them have reached minimum numbers so that they will be running, which is fantastic. Some of them are nearing those minimum numbers. So that is looking very positive. We also had a steering committee meeting today. So we're looking at expanding the possibility of expanding some of those pre-event tours to include some Indigenous tours that didn't quite make the deadline previously. So we're just working our way through that. So sorry, no, back, Delia. So on the
I'm sorry. Sure.
yeah, that's okay. I, I've got a couple of minutes left. And so what we've got is conference highlights, as you can see, over 70 case study sessions. We've got some fantastic keynote speakers organised. We've got two organised, so one an Indigenous provider who will be connecting our themes and connecting the messages of the culture conservation and connection throughout the whole conference. You can just, if you want to just flick through, we'll reach to the agendas. Delia, yeah. So now that we have finalised and reached out to all the speakers, we have now started to generate the agenda, which can now start to be finalised. And you can see that we've got some really good flow between that. We've done the themes around it. We've allowed for some good times for morning teas and lunches. And we'll have the welcome reception on day one. We'll have the film festival on day two, and then we'll have the wrap-up drinks on day three, where we've secured a site overlooking the Swan River. So that is everything's going well. We've got 88 registrations so far. We'll have the early bird registrations open until the 30th of April, and we'll be starting to do some heavy promotion around Australia and internal. So really, for us, it is getting some great traction.
Thank you.
And that's 3 minutes.
Uh-huh. It is 3 minutes, but I don't want to cut you off if it looks like a fabulous
No,
keynote speaker. Great.
so the two Jade and Boundary, incredible. We'll be starting each morning with a video that we will be filming on country. So he'll be bringing the traditional fire smoking, and also talking about the areas that surround the conference space and bringing that internal.
Wonderful.
Great.
So
I
much.
have a question here from Galio just about the ending of the conference that So there's should we plan to leave on the 22nd or the 23rd? And I have a sense from, knowing Australians that leaving on the 23rd is probably a good idea. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, so that Thursday night is the final hurrah, and it's the venue that we've chosen is just fantastic. It is right on the river. We'll call it a sundowner because the sun sets in Western Australia over the river. So it's going to be, yeah, I would suggest don't miss it if you can.
Wonderful. And if people have any questions at all, this is the
Yes, so
email
there's
address. And
yes, conference at worldtrailsnetwork.org.
wonderful. And I think it's all over the website too. So thank you so
Yes,
much. Wonderful. Thank you. And thanks for joining us at an odd hour for you, I'm sure. But
that's fine.
uh, Jackie or Julian.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that the World Trail Awards nominations are open. You are welcome to apply, and there's the link. It's also been linked in our newsletter that just went out. And so please apply. The deadline is April the 15th, and they will be presented at the World Trails Conference.
Wonderful. Thanks. And that brings us to tourism. Jane and Kate.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning. It's morning here in Oregon where I am. My name is Kate Harbour and I'm co-chair of the tourism task team along with Jane McCulloch. So there's our faces if you want to connect with us in person in Perth. And our task team really does work at those issues at the intersection of trails and tourism. So I'm going to hand it over to Jane and you can go to the next slide and she'll share what we're working on.
Great. Thanks, Kate. Hi, everybody. Thanks for attending. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about our priority projects. So our first one is our Regenerative Trail Tourism Toolkit. So we are going to be working on developing this over the next year or so, and we're going to be using the conference as an opportunity to bring everyone together to talk about regenerative trail tourism and what we can do to create a more sustainable tourism opportunity when it comes to trails. And so we're looking at, active restoration, deepens connections, community-centered, and environmental actions and holistic approach. So we really want to see how we can apply that to create truly regenerative trail tourism opportunities. Next slide, Delia. So again, some of the examples that we're looking at are trail maintenance, habitat restoration, environmental cleanup, and supporting trail towns, which are the towns that trails go through. And so again, with the toolkit, we really want to give people practical tools so that they are actually doing regenerative trail tourism and not simply calling it regenerative. And our next slide. So our second priority project is our best practice mission. And so we are planning a best practice mission for the summer or the spring or the fall of this year, probably more in the summer so that we're not conflicting with the conference. And the mission will allow participants to observe how rural multi-jurisdictional trail corridors are planned, engage directly with government officials, assess trails' impact on rural economic development, and identify transferable lessons applicable to the development of long-distance trail products in your area. And the next slide, please. And so our key learning areas will be government and corridor management, funding and phase development, rural economic development, tourism and destination branding, and infrastructure and user experience. So if there's an opportunity or interest, Kate will talk a little bit more about how you can reach out to us, but we'd certainly, once we open it up for registration, we'll certainly make sure that it's distributed far and wide throughout the World Trail Network. Next slide, Delia.
Yeah. And so we also have some ongoing virtual gatherings that are open to anyone. We have one coming up on April 7th, which is going to be a really interactive, fun peer-to-peer problem solving session. And then on June 2nd, we're going to host another gathering to really kick off that discussion about the regenerative tourism project. So we would love to have you spread the word or join us yourself. I'm going to put a lot of links in the chat, including our email address, which is listed here. Yeah, please reach out if you have any questions or would like to be involved in a project. We'd really love to work with you.
Thank
And
you so
back
much.
to you, Delia.
Yeah, thank you. And that brings us to knowledge. Shay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shay Rabineau. I'm a professor at Binghamton University in upstate New York, and I'm a co-chair of the Knowledge Task Team. We do not monopolize all knowledge about trails, as Jane has just made clear. But one thing that we try to do is We're working in our task team to establish what we call trailology, an interdisciplinary effort to put trails at the center of a new field of academic study, and not just academic. We want to be able to unfold the knowledge of practitioners and trail advocates in that work as well. So that's one thing that we've been doing over the past few years. And we have ongoing activities that you can sort of see there and that I'm going to go through now. I want to invite you to kind of join a journey that we've been on for a couple of years. Can you go to the next slide, Delia? So we started in 2024 by kind of creating the trailhead for our journey by starting monthly discussions with academics and trail innovators inside and outside WTN. And we took those presentations that we had in our monthly meetings, which we still do now, and we converted those into essays written by an international authorship in different languages, and we published them in a volume called Trailology 1. So we're trying to gather trail knowledge that's holistic, that gathers people from the humanities, the social sciences, the natural sciences, and the arts, and kind of putting them all together into one place to start new conversations about trails. That's our goal. And we're inspired by what we've seen in WTN, and we're trying to build on that. So last year, we were able to kind of build on our initial efforts to kind of get things going at the World Trails Conference in Ottawa 2024. And we've been building networks of researchers and practitioners across the Americas, Europe, and Asia. We need to get more people from Australia and Africa involved. But last year, we actually got to meet in Budapest, the leadership team, to talk about that. Andras is on the call today as well, and he was part of that group. And then students at Wageningen University in the Netherlands actually were commissioned to write a 65-page report on how trailology could develop as an international interdisciplinary field. So this is really happening, and we're excited about it. So let's continue to the next slide, Delia. This year, I've actually, at my own institution, I've applied to create what's called Binghamton Trek, the Trail Research Center at Binghamton University. It'll be a funded research center, the first of its kind, as far as I know, in North America. But we also have a partnership here at our university with the White Mountains Field School in New Hampshire, which is run by Nat Scrimshaw, who's also in the advisory council and a WTN member. So there are a lot of cool connections between WTN and these academic groups. This June, we're going to do the first in-person trailology symposium at Wageningen in the Netherlands. And then in Valencia in November, Andras is organizing a session at the MMV conference. It's a huge trail conference in Europe. Next slide, please. And then finally, we're continuing with our monthly meetings where we have experts presenting. We're pursuing collaborative research projects and grants between, again, researchers, practitioners across national borders. And we're really open to conversations about that and would love to enfold you in those conversations. We want to do a trailology research conference that's more strictly academic down the line. And then a journal by and for academics and trail practitioners. Can you go to the next slide, please, Delia?
Yep.
And finally, yeah, this is how we want you to get involved. So trailology.net is our website that's still under construction, but you can see our manifesto and essays there. We have a Zoom meeting on April 13th that you're more than welcome to join. You can email us for the links. We'll do the symposium in Wageningen in June, and if you're going to be in the neighborhood, please come. And then some of us will be at the World Trails Conference. So these are our email addresses. These are the best way to contact us. Me or my colleague Martina, or our task team email address, which is on the screen. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. That brings us to conservation. Galio.
Bang. Hello, everybody. Beautiful to be here and welcome. Yes, the Conservation and Trails Task Team is working in collaboration with the IUCN World Commission on Protected Areas, and which is very exciting. We've been doing this for a number of years and focusing on the intersection of trails and conservation around the world. Next slide, please. Yeah, so our objectives are to amplify trails and their impacts and the types of impacts they have on conservation outcomes, and also to the intersection of how trails can contribute to the conservation sector, and in particular how conservation can contribute to trail development and design and planning, as well as maintenance. And so the idea with the task team is to really bring conservation and trail experts together across the world, and we've been doing this since we established this particular task team with great energy after the conference in Skiathos in Greece, even though the task team itself had been around for much longer than that and had been working on establishing a white paper for trails and conservation. We're very keen to highlight more how trails function as a tool for conservation, and in this respect in particular how trails play a role in connectivity in connecting fragmented habitats and regions. Next, please. Last year, one of our highlights was the presentation at the IUCN World Conservation Congress in Abu Dhabi. We had an amazing team of our task team members present at the Congress. This is the biggest conservation congress of its kind in the world that happens every 4 years. And we had representation from Brazil, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and a number of other task team members and members of the World Trails Network who attended the Congress on their own bat. And one of the key highlights of this Congress was the resolution adoption that we had put forward through the IUCN working group that we were working with, and to have the resolution adopted by the IUCN that really places trails squarely within the conservation agenda now globally. And currently, together with Pedro and Shane, we are coordinating the establishment of a special task force within IUCN focused on trails and conservation. So this is a very exciting development, and we're super excited to have been part of this development. Next, Delia. Trails as linear protected areas. This is a key component of the work that we're looking at and how trails connect landscapes. Next. Here's a good example of exactly how trail corridors for conservation can be seen as where your traditional trail corridor is managed just for the sort of width of the trail, whereas the notion of trail corridors for connectivity, we're looking at a broader landscape, cross-section of the landscape, where trails can play a much bigger role in landscape management and in providing connectivity. And this has an important consequence for how we design trails going forward. Next, Delia. And so we continue to champion the cause. We've got a lot of things that we've participated in over the last 3 years, and we're looking forward to some very exciting events in this year, being the World Trails Conference in Australia, as well as the 2027 Protected Areas Congress that's happening in Panama. So working towards both of those. We invite all members of the World Trails Network to consider joining us. Delia, you can change the slide. And so I've mentioned some of these next steps already. And if you wish to join us, you can see I've put a little link in the chat, and also our email address is the best way to contact us. We meet on the first Thursday of every month, and we have a very engaged, dynamic group of people taking this exciting subject forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Galio. Next up is sustainability and governance, and I believe Stephen is going to speak to that.
Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Couchman, co-chair of the Advisory Council, and unfortunately, Cesar couldn't be with us today. He's doing what we do, which is he's running a workshop right now with Nat Scrimshaw in Ecuador on trail sustainability and governance, so couldn't be with us. Just quickly, we think of trails as being something that we work on and build and so forth, but really none of this is possible without the organization and governance behind the actual trail work. So the Trails and Governance Task Team is very much focused on that aspect of it, both the environmental, the economic, and the social pillars that go into sustaining over a long term a trail system. So I'll leave it there, but we'll look forward to further contributions from Cesar in the future.
Thanks, Steve. Next up is arts and culture, and I think we have Ali and Laura here.
Hello, everybody. I'm Laura Aziz. This is my World Trails Network debut as the co-chair or new co-chair for the Arts and Culture Task Force. So bear with me as I use 1 minute of my time to say a load of nothing. Anyway, so the update that we've got at the moment is that part of our team, part of the task force at the moment, are currently in Turkey undergoing creating a documentary exploring Abrekis for the Lycian Way, and have received some World Trails Network funding to create that documentary, and we'll showcase that documentary film in Perth. Next slide. Yeah, so I wanted to also mention the an update from the work with the Lebanon Mountain Trail Association. It was a big part of the plan this year for the arts and culture team and surrounding artists and uh, people who are interested in this to join and gather there this year on the spring through hike. But due to the ongoing war, this is no longer possible. Um, but out of this, something really beautiful has emerged. Or even though we're not able to walk the trail, we have planned a call for solidarity, a global invitation to walk in solidarity with the communities along the Lebanon Mountain Trail. I will put the chat the website in the link so you can sign up. But essentially, we're inviting people across the network to organise or join walks. It can be a walk anywhere for however long of distance you'd like that to be, but to do so with intention. And I will add the link into to the chat. And this is going to take place on between the 3rd of April and the 3rd of May, the times that through hike would have been taking place. Also, Tatla was and is a part of the Lebanese Mountain Trail Association team, and she actually came to the UK to create 27 silk flags to represent the different communities and stories and traditions along that trail. Those 27 flags were going to be walked with along that trail, but they exist now, but unfortunately aren't going on the trail this time. But you can find those flags on the website as well, and I'll add that in here. Next up.
30 seconds, Laura.
Sorry, yep. Next up is the Pilgrimage Today series, which is one of our actions this year where we're developing a series where Andras also came and spoke at our monthly online conversation series exploring the simple but important question: when does a walk become a pilgrimage? It brings together artists, trail practitioners, and thinkers from across the network to share perspectives and case studies and lived experiences. It's really important that we have a World Trails Network member at each session. It would be really, really great if you would sign up. We've got the next one coming up is the 7th of April. Sacred Steps, some really, really interesting conversations and food for thought, really. And then just lastly, if I've got just 10 seconds left, just looking ahead to the conference in Perth, and we'll be sharing our journey so far, the Lyceum Way vision. We'll be hosting a creative mapping session there as well for trail managers to explore how artists can connect communities along the trail, and also, exploring more about walking with intention.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a zine also from the solidarity walks, which so that's us. We meet bi-monthly and we welcome new members.
Thank you, Laura, and welcome to the Advisory Council and the network. Next up is
Thank you.
trail design and stewardship.
Hello, this is Yufei, and I'll try to do this quick. And I'm co-leading this task team with Jackie Tao from Taiwan. And our task team started in 2025 last year, and then we started with two pilot projects. One I think is listed here. One is citizen-based trail monitoring programs survey, and then the other one is a traditional trail video project. And so next slide, please.
Oh.
And I'm not going to go through all the text, don't worry. And so we conducted this survey. So what we would like to learn, like globally, what kind of citizen-based trail monitoring programs exist and how kind of they actually utilize or engage the public in monitoring trail conditions. So the survey has completed. We've received 22 examples from 10 countries. Very exciting results, and the results show a lot of diversity in terms of the recruitment, training, methods, monitoring methods, techniques, technology use, data sharing, and so forth. So we are going to have some feature presentations on particular case studies in our task team meetings throughout this year. And also we are going to share some results, more results at the World Trails Conference and the MMV conference that I think was mentioned earlier in Spain. And we are also preparing a journal manuscript for peer-reviewed publication. And so next slide, please. Jackie, please take over.
Yes, thank you, Yufei. This is Jackie calling from Taiwan. The other program of our task team is the traditional or historical trail craftsmanship video project. And we believe that there are valuable insights and knowledge in the way our ancestors used to build trails. So we have invited several groups of experts and practitioners who have such experience to submit videos of their amazing traditional craftsmanship. So we have received an entry from Baluki, a group of experts from Greece, and as well as in Taiwan. Here we are showcasing people using bamboo to maintain trails, and also the arts and culture texting mentioned the Lycian Way, and we have also been in contact with them, and we're expecting a video entry from Turkey as well. So we are hoping that with this video project, we can showcase the diversity of trail maintenance or stewardship in terms of our traditional knowledge and how these traditional knowledge still can be useful in our modern days of maintenance. The next slide, please.
30 seconds.
Cycle.
Yes. So our task team meets bi-monthly. That's once every 2 months on the last Wednesday. So you're feel free to jot down the dates, and you can contact either Yufei or myself anytime. Thank you very much, and welcome to join the task team.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. That brings us to education and inclusive engagement. Julie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Judkins, dialing in from the mountains of North Carolina here in the U.S. on the eastern band of Cherokee lands. My work and my heart centers around Just Trails, a practice focused on regenerating nature and communities through the connective power of trails. And I'm super fortunate to serve on the board with WTN as well as co-chair of the Education and Inclusive Engagement team, alongside two amazing leaders, Tara Query, which we heard a little bit about in her work in Lebanon, and of course, Delia Clark, who you've met. Together, our focus is shared on promising practice to inclusive engagement and supporting current and trail stewards, leaders, adventurers, and organizations around the world. And we do that through two key initiatives, our World Trails Ambassadors and Indigenous Ways. Our next slide, please. World Trails Ambassadors program is focused on rising leaders, and they're selected through a competitive process to serve as community agents in their to help advance our global trails movement. They serve 2-year terms and participate in the World Trails Conference, engage with task teams, and implement community-based projects focused on trails in their home countries. And what's been super powerful about this is that it doesn't end with a 2-year term. Ambassadors stay engaged as alumni, and they grow in a family of trail leaders around the world. And many from our first cohort are now stepping into leadership roles within the World Trails Network, and including our regional chapters and task teams. So we have 2 cohorts so far and are announcing our 3rd cohort in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. This is a fantastic investment for trails and people. And so please let me know if you're interested in sponsorship. I know we have at least one ambassador in our current cohort on the line. Brian, hi, or wave if you can. For Indigenous Ways, next slide, Delia, is an Indigenous-led movement chaired by Kylie, whose picture is here. This convenes global conversations and Indigenous-led trail development and purposeful engagement. And we've been super lucky to have these open forums and circles that are led by Indigenous leaders across the world and highlighting different community-developed trails and sharing knowledge that are rooted in culture and land, lived experience. And behind the scenes, leaders are advancing 3 key areas: purposeful engagement, workforce development, and truth telling and storytelling. And Kylie is not to be missed at the conference if you will be there in Perth. Uh, if alone, you should just come to hear her sing. She's got a gorgeous, gorgeous voice. And so at the heart of all of our programs, it's really, we know that trails are more than paths and they're platforms for connection and learning and stewardship. And I hope to see you out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. That brings us to media, and I think Stephen's prepared to talk, but Zach, I think I saw you join us. So do you want to speak, Zach? Then Stephen, why don't you take it away?
Okay, I'll do my. Geez, even more pressure if Zach's here watching me do this. Hi, everybody. It's Stephen again, and I was just going to speak briefly to the media task team. The hallmark of the media task team, of course, is the World Trails Film Festival. Every year, the media task team curates a selection of the most extraordinary films documenting the work on trails and people's experience on trails. And you can see, from the conversation we've had so much so far that there's a lot of crossover between the different task teams, which we really encourage. At this point, the media task team, they've received, or the World Trails Film Festival, they've got 93 diverse entries from 27 countries for the current festival. There are opportunities for folks to sponsor a film festival for their own communities on their own trail systems. And there's also opportunities for watch parties where you can engage with the films online. There's also a library of past films that are available. So it's really a way to raise attention and awareness of these extraordinary documentaries. And I'd also say that we're very much looking forward to the festival being launched at the World Trails Conference in the fall in Perth. So best way to see the films is to come to Perth and watch with all of us. Thanks, Delia.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. And that brings us to cities and towns. Brendan, I know you're here, and maybe David, I didn't see.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. I had some trouble getting in, but my name's Brendan Blotnicki, and I'm one of the two co-chairs of the Cities and Towns Task Team, along with David Lusenheiser. Probably said his last name wrong. We have some challenging last names on our team, I guess. But I'm speaking to you from the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people in Canada's East Coast. So at a high level, the role of the cities and towns task team is trying to position trails as essential infrastructure in places where people live. Trails do much more than just provide recreation. They function as transportation corridors, improve public health. They support ecosystems. They help build more connected, equitable communities. So just kind of going back to a recent comment, a lot of ties with the other task teams, I think, for us. So our focus is really on how these benefits show up at a local level across cities and towns. So from our discussions, our mandate is centered on identifying a model for closing gaps and creating connectivity within urban settings and between urban areas via safe active transportation and trail networks. So we're looking at how municipal, regional, and national partners can align. We have a good team in that sense because there are members on our team from each of these different levels. So it's a pretty interesting connection to see how that all sort of interrelates. So we're also trying to recognize the critical role of the community-led initiatives as well. Um, a strong example that we've been looking at is the city of Guelph and the G2G Trail. So with that, they have capital projects that are led. Sorry, what was that? I'll just keep going. We have capital projects that are led by cities, development projects focused on planning and design, and importantly, community-led and city-supported projects as well. So beyond delivery models, we also see a broader role for organizations like the WTN in convening the sector, sharing expertise, supporting funding, access, and creating, potentially economies of scale for example, through procurement, promotion, and showcasing successful regions. So looking ahead, a key piece of the work that we're work is defining what urban connectivity trail system really is. So this includes connecting people from where they live to the trail, linking communities through greenways, providing mid-route amenities like rest stops and bike services, and ensuring clear and informative signage. So ultimately, we're working towards defining criteria that makes a good, effective, connected trail city, while also building systems that connect people to places and to each other. For the next steps, we're continuing to refine the definition of those connected trail cities, and asking everyone to bring their ideas on criteria and connectivity strategies to our next discussion. I unfortunately only have two slides. You can go to the next slide.
Okay,
It's
and
pretty much just a
we've got
connection slide.
4 seconds. So
But yeah, we're really looking forward to continuing the conversation in Perth. And we want to welcome anyone. We meet every second Thursday of every month. Or sorry, the second Thursday of every month at 9 or sorry, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So that's an hour before this started time.
okay.
So you can reach out to me if you wish to join our next session. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brendan. And that brings us to technology. Vera.
Yes. Thank you very much. My name is Vera Cvetkovic, and I'm currently leading technology task team for World Trail Networks. I'm dividing my time between Collingwood, Ontario, and Toronto. Um, I'm a part of the Bruce Trail Conservancy, specifically Blue Mountains section. And, nowadays, technology is intertwined in every aspect of our life, and there's no segment of life where we need technology, whether we're like paying a parking or doing a banking or checking the weather or, communicating with the rest of the world. Hiking and trails is no exception. So this group is really focused on providing the platform globally to discuss emerging technologies and innovations and publishing some valuable resources, whether it's through the newsletter, blogs, presentations. We're preparing some interesting things for this fall conference. We're a small global team, and we're always looking to bring more people. It's please go to the next slide. It's not necessary that you have expertise in technology. We collaborate frequently with the universities and colleges and non-for-profit organizations that they can bring the knowledge and expertise in a different areas, that we can use, for example, to collect the data and do the data intelligence and how to activate data that we collect in the best possible way to make hiking experience better, whether preparing for hiking, during the hiking, or after the hiking. For this year, we are focusing on some of the trails are overcrowded. And when we collect the data, we analyze that and see what are the peaks in a week, in a month, in a season. Is there any specific days? Is it like a weekend or work days? How
30
people,
more seconds.
yeah,
30 seconds, yeah.
30 seconds. Okay, maybe moving to the next one. If you're planning to join us, please send email to me. And please, next slide. We're also looking for co-chair because we're finding that having multiple people running the team most efficient and effective. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. And that brings us to the Pan American Trails. And Jane, as a brand new board member, is going to attempt to speak for them today, I think.
Great, thanks, Delia. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. There are a number of slides, but just for everyone's understanding, we have the Pan American Trails, which includes all of the Americas as well as the island of the Caribbean. We have members from 15 countries that include national trail systems, long distance trails, international organizations, environmental agencies, universities, associations, and NGOs. And some of the things that we do, and I'll talk a little bit more about it, are field schools, fellowships, and expeditions, along with conferences and gatherings, and we have developing a digital platform. Next slide, please. So we have three pillars: conservation, recreation, and employment. And we see all of these working together to create a stronger and more inclusive network through the Americas. Next slide, please. So one of the areas that we're focusing on are our field schools. And so we have field schools in the White Mountains in the United States, in Costa Rica and Brazil. And these are opportunities to bring students together to learn about trail systems within the regions. And so we're holding one this summer in the White Mountains, and we have quite a few applicants that are very interested to attend from a variety of universities. As Shay had mentioned, Binghamton is one of them, and we've got students from Harvard and Dartmouth. And so it's really exciting to see this opportunity for them to come together and learn as a cohort. Next slide, please.
Oh, sorry. Went
Oh, no, that's fine. So another area that we're looking at are expeditions, and we're hoping to plan an expedition prior to the first Pan American Trail Congress this winter, late fall, early winter, this year. But there are also other opportunities for us if there are people that are interested in working with us to organize an expedition. And then next one are our fellowships. So these are for trail professionals and graduate students, and this is done in memory of Natasha, who passed away during the pandemic, but was very involved in the fellowship opportunities. And so we've hosted fellowships on 2024 and 2025, and we're planning on hosting one again this year. And the next slide. Oh, I'm done. That's great.
Great. Thank you so much, Jane. Thanks for stepping up in Nat's absence. And that does bring us to the Asia Trails Network. I think that's you, Jackie.
Yes, hello again. This is Jackie calling from Taiwan. Um, which is, our organization is also currently the secretariat of the Asia Trails Network, a regional network of the World Trails Network. And as you can see on the slide, currently we have 30 members from 8 countries, and Asia Trails Network is the most representative trail network in Asia, and we are glad to have our first hub session at the last World Trails Conference, and we are looking forward to hosting another one in person, so you can be there to learn about us in person. Next slide, please. Yes, so one of there are 4 main activities at the Asia Trails Network. The first one will be the conference, which we just held last year, and our member organizations also frequently host walking festivals. So just like early March, and one of our members in Japan hosted a walking festival with about 700 people, and we were happy to be there to attend. And also, we believe walking festivals and a rigid or vibrant exchange programs between our regional members is a way to promote understanding as well as collaborations. For example, last year, there are some friendship trail agreements signed because of these walking festival and exchange programs. And on the right-hand side is actually all the trail, all our member organizations in Korea. And you can see they have a very vibrant trail organizations all over the country. Next slide, please. And also within our network, we have 2 task teams. The first one will be maintenance task teams, which where we do online discussions. And we are also glad that last year we are able to host several on-site practice and maintenance workshops in both Japan and Taiwan. And then we're glad to have a potential collaboration site, which is the Tataka base camp here in Taiwan. And hopefully, if any of you are interested in learning about Asia Trails Network as well as the maintenance work here done in Taiwan and in Asia overall, you're welcome to join our maintenance task team at the Tataka base camp. Next slide, please. And also, inspired by the Trails Film Festival here at the World Trails Network, we also hosted our own Asia Trails Film Festival 2 years ago, and we have an amazing selection from Hong Kong and from Egypt, as well as from Taiwan, Japan, and Korea. And for this term, we're doing our studies and hoping to have another round of Asia Film Festivals. But in the meantime, we are helping Jay and the Children's Film Festival team to curate and to invite other Asia Trail organizations to promote and to submit their films to the World Children's Film Festival. So hopefully you'll be able to see some amazing Asia landscape in Perth and during the festival screening. Next slide. Thank you. So finally, you are welcome to follow the Azure Shows Network at our Facebook fan page, and you can also scan the QR code on the right to get an update of our amazing work last year. Thank you very much, and welcome to join our member.
Thank you, Jackie. And that brings us to the European chapter. And I'm not sure if it's Julia or Hartmut.
Yeah, that's me. That's
Oh,
Els.
Elsie. Okay. Great.
Hartmut is on vacation and he asked me to do this on his behalf. Hi everyone. Greetings to those of you whom I know and hello to those that I see for the first time on this chat on this call. And yeah, I'm gonna present very quickly. I only have 3 slides. I'll be within the 3 minutes. Yeah, we've been active for less than a year, and yeah, we've managed to hire Julia, who is also on this call, and signed an MOU with European with the World Trails Network, where we have also set out how we're going to work together as a hub, how our membership works, and I will get into that on the next slides. Yeah, we have a lot of followers on LinkedIn now, and we are ready to receive funding from the European Commission because we are registered there. We do a webinar series with prospect members, new members, and our active members. And we have created project groups, 14 project groups, 5 of which are pretty active and actively. So they're theme based and they're actively looking for ways to collaborate and seek funding. We also have set up our well, the Green Flag Trails is managed by Hartmut. Hartmut is, for those of you who don't know, he's the chair of the board of the European Trails, and he's leading the efforts with Green Flag Trails. That's going pretty well. Donate to Trails tool. So this is very interesting. There was a study done by Outdoor Active on how users of trails would like to support trails, and it turns out that if this shows up on your app, then it's easier for them to donate. So we are actively doing this and experimenting with this. And there's a EU Trails policy paper. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we're working on the website. As there's no update, we will let you know when it is out there active. And we're looking for coordinators of the project groups. This is volunteer work, and yeah, we're actively looking for people to help us manage these groups. And we are
30 seconds.
yeah. Yes, 30 seconds. That was very quick. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're trying to build consortia for EU applications. Some are pretty active. Some start working and then they stumble because organizations pull out or their interests change. And yeah, then if we can go to the next slide, yeah, you can. If you are a European Trails member, then you automatically become a WTN member. This is the deal. This is how we have this MOU agreement with the WTN. And yeah, if you would like to become a member or become active with us or some kind of other collaboration, you can always contact Julia. Here's her email. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that brings us to the Mediterranean chapter. Omar.
Yes, thank you, Delia. So my name is Omar. I'm the current co-president of the Mediterranean Trails Network and the secretary of the WTN board. Happy to tell you that our network is the newest baby born among the regional chapters. It was born in September 22, 2025, registered in France, and our mission is to connect the Mediterranean hiking trail ecosystem to advance sustainable growth and encourage vibrant communities. Next, please.
Sorry, the cat is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I play this?
Yes, please. So we have a short video. Yeah, thanks. Okay, next, please, Delia.
Beautiful.
So originally, for the past 3 years, this network was funded by the French Agency of Development, and now it became a legal entity. In addition to the five members who founded the network, we have now 10 new members from the four sides of the Mediterranean. North Africa, Europe, Eastern Mediterranean, and soon we'll have members from Spain. It's a structured and recognized regional network. And then it's a community-driven. We have a community-driven approach to climate adaptation. It's one of the key topics we'll be focusing on in the next few years. Next, please.
Oh, did I go too far? There we go.
Yeah. So practically, the network is open to any Mediterranean trail that is existing, located on the Mediterranean. You can join us on, you can check the website, which is medtrailsnetwork.org, and you can find any information you need to know. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's something here. Yeah. Good. That's it.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Omar, and thanks for being with us.
And I just note that the teaser with sound, because some of us had difficulty with the sound, the teaser with the sound is now in the chat for people to download if you'd like to.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Stefan.
Hearing
Thanks a
it
lot.
beautifully here, but I was wondering.
Wasn't me, but Julie, thank you for that.
Yes, I can maybe add to Amar's presentation that we also have a knowledge platform. We already have produced some studies and some surveys. We have a study on impact of climate change on hiking trails that was done in 3 countries, Palestine, Jordan, and Lebanon. We have a study on income generating activities on trails. And we have done also an hikers expectation survey. So we also want to develop a platform with different studies and tools to share with the global hiking community.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone. We had 17 presentations and everyone kept to their time and we finished right at the top of the hour. So I'm really grateful to everyone for being here. I am so excited about the work that we're all doing together. Really look forward to seeing many of you in Perth in the fall and just so happy to be in a network with all y'all. So thank you. Feel free to hang around if you want to chat.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing work.
Delia and I will stay on for a couple more minutes for anybody who wants.